We used to live limitless, like life itself was endless. But life without limits has limitation to your existence, no impeding danger as the end was not in sight, no insight into the essential, enlightening the inner light, strike to ignite the burn, light the refining fire, the inferno of the condemned is at hand. Make provision for where you plan to land, because everyone has a death appointment, but acting ignorant will leave your time spent. How will your kids remember you when you no longer exist? The sky is coming blue. Mama, the sky is coming blue. Is my daddy up the sky with God? Fretting the day that she asked me, why is he up the sky with God? Who is he and what was he like? All these questions pierce my heart. I don't have those smooth, kind of benign answers we look forward to giving children, painting them a beautiful picture of a saintly creature full of honor, fallen at its prime, but reality is ugly, and the truth is deep. Praying the Lord his rest to keep as I strive to accomplish this task without giving a diminished image of him in his absence. Thinking of him in the past tense brings back the subtle, painful fear and memories that death brought to me, and my strong yearning not to engage in single parenting, but his anticipated, unexpected passing was the much-needed awakening. I need to settle down, nurture my seed, set some goals, ensure I succeed, and leave a better legacy. Till then, wisdom had no penetration, no matter how much the preparation left ministry for indiscretion, reckless, no consideration, scabbed hearts, palpitations, denied the divine's insemination, and it took this death to provide perforation for the Almighty to make consolation to a spirit whirling in agitation. I just wish it didn't cost so much for me to pay attention. Premonitions of his death haunted my waking sleep, and I knew full well what his fate would be, and I still didn't make time to add Christ. Was concerned with his way of life, was willing to forego righteous living if he would just be right, and not even for me to be with me, but for my children. You see, I wanted them to be unlike me and actually have a father. So bad that I didn't bother with the calling for my Abba. So when God was saying pay attention and he was trying to mention the path to salvation, I didn't feel the need to listen because I had already made my own prescription, neglecting the healing of the great physician. All them days we sat back blazing, rolling the streets, hell brazen. I should have been engaging that brother in some praising. Looking back now to see why this man was in my life, because he certainly was not my husband. I wasn't meant to be his wife. I had fallen away from my first love, and he was there to bring it back. I was here with him to minister, not for him to be my mister. But we get it twisted. And I ain't the first to have missed it, and I won't be the last. But hopefully by listening, you can size up your personal situation and get some information in. Because when you get the call, I want you to answer. Because the next call you get might be your last. I'm not saying that his death was my fault, but I'm not exactly faultless. No prayer life to mention. There was no Christ in our existence. So the blood on my hands eradicates my innocence. And I can't help but to remember all of them times that we spent arguing on these petty fights. You stole, you lied, you cheated. Petty fights, just days and teed off nights. Him feeling guilty about what happened and me giving no consideration to my own, only focusing on his actions. Time could have been spent learning about the light and making a foundation for us to work together during our separation. Listen here to what I'm saying. All these baby mamas out here with hurt hearts, feeling deceived, taking out their frustration through games and just deeds. Instead of nagging, hagging, having fits about child support and time spent, speak a word into that brother's ear. Give some encouragement. And it don't matter whether he's supposed to be or who he's supposed to be or whether he's being the father he's supposed to be. All of your screaming and having fits is just going to leave a bitter seed, because you can't control what your child hears and sees. Let him do him and you do you, and when he does come through, make sure that he knows there are some rules that must be adhered to. And now that I'm a wife, I see firsthand the effects that a baby mama has on a man. And if he's chosen and it wasn't you, go on with your life and let that chapter be through. Pray for him. And while you at it, pray for her too. All these baby daddies, they need to cut the bitterness loose. Separation does not make for an absentee excuse, and you can keep food in your children's mouth without keeping her, but as long as you keep trying to claim ownership of this woman in her house, you'll never find the woman who was really meant to be your spouse. And the children are with her, then 9 times out of 10, there is going to be another person stepping in. He's with them on the weeknights. You're only with them on the weekends. Don't burn your bridges so bad you can't provide the necessary protection. Because a lot of times the ladies get so caught up with a man looking in their direction that she thinks he's looking at her when he's really scoping out her children. And it's innocent enough wanting love and companionship. Just pray for these people to find a godly relationship. And if she's just that bad hood rat to the max, go on, get your seat and let her hit the tracks. Take responsibility. Learn the law, how it affects you. Newsflash, man, you have rights too. Use discernment. Operate in surety. Skip the foolishness. Exercise the maturity. People, please get it right. You only get one life. Don't mess it up with drama and strife. Looking back on this lost wisdom of this, there was no recognition, no impeding danger as the end was not in sight, no insight into the essential enlightening, the inner light strike to ignite the burn like the refining fire, the inferno of the condemned is at hand. Make provision for where you plan to land, because everyone has a death appointment, but acting ignorant will leave your time spent. Running in relationships, hoping for magic to kick in. No aspirations for longevity until there's a threat it might end. One night stands, casual sex, jump offs causing calamity. No promises, no commitments, all insanity. Fallible contraception pumping out offspring, yet constantly wondering why the same thing keeps happening. All vanity. But the end's not in your sight. So you make no room for insight on the essential and trying to enlighten your inner light. Strikes to ignite the burn like the refining fire. The inferno of the condemned is at hand. Make provision for where you plan to land, because everyone has a death appointment, but acting ignorance will leave your time spent and you still living limitless. As though life itself was endless, but life without limits as limitation to your existence. Irrit life without limits as limitation to your existence. Irrit life without limits as limitation to your existence. How will your kids remember you when you no longer exist? Make your next move with wisdom and prudence. Thank you. So that was kind of deep. I'm going to bring it back. Let's see, what's